Most men right now, they never gonna experience what it feels like to operate at full capacity because they're all the time, right? They're constantly depleting themselves, and then they're watching Netflix and they're scrolling on social media, and just they're so dopamine riddled that they can't stay focused for more than 10 minutes. If you're a man playing at a high level, whether you're running a business, building your athletic body or your career in music, whether you're leading your family or your congregation, you're out there making an impact, you're leaving a legacy, you already know that ordinary habits won't cut it. In this video, I'm gonna break down my monk mode routine that I developed over the last several years that have tripled my productivity and elevated me as a leader. Let's dive into it. Hi, my name is Nicola Daz and I help men master their S3X energy so you can become a powerhouse both in and outside the bedroom and unleash your God-given abilities. Go to the link in the description below and take the free transmutation guide to get started on your journey to sexual mastery. As you practice semen retention, as you retain and as you transmute and learn to transmute this energy, you're going to be able to triple your productivity. When you triple your productivity, you don't just get more done, but you literally expand your capacity to attract more into your life, and not just attract it, but hold it. See, you can bring money into your life, but if you can't hold it and make it grow, it's gonna come and it's gonna go. So you also have to expand your capacity to hold that energy. When you do that, you're going to become the man that people can count on. Your family can count on you, your employees or your team, your business members or colleagues, your community can count on you, your congregation can count on you. So becoming productive is the duty of a man so that more people can count on you, and therefore you can create a higher impact or service within the planet. So let's dive into this routine. I really recommend that you take it seriously, take some notes so that you can decide what you're going to implement for yourself and then build upon these habits. So number one is your morning discipline. Morning discipline actually starts at night, but we'll talk a little bit about nighttime routine at the end. This is based on three basic principles: discipline, energy management, and then high impact productive times. So let's start with discipline. Starts with your morning discipline. Wake up at the same time every single morning. Why I call this a monk mode routine is because this is what I learned from hanging out with monks. Some monks have been monks, my own teacher has been a monk over 40 years. This is what they do that gives them surgical-like precision with their mind. Like, these guys are highly elevated, their ability to control their mind. And whether you're a monk or you're like me, you're living in family life, you've got a wife, maybe you've got kids, maybe you've got a career, you've got things that you want to achieve on this planet, you want to translate the principles of how a monk operates, highly regulated and focused, into your family life. So the first way that you can do this is by waking up at the same time every single morning. Set your alarm. My alarm goes off at 5:15 a.m. every single morning. Doesn't matter what time I go to bed, that's what time my alarm's going off. I'm generally awake before my alarm, but latest is 5:15. Now, I used to be a 9 a.m., an 8:30, an 8 guy, and I incrementally worked my way into the 5 a.m. club. You're gonna notice a massive shift as you begin to wake up earlier in your focus, your energy, and your overall productivity. No snoozes, no excuses. Get your ass out of bed and get to it. Now, let's be real. I'm gonna be very honest. It's not like I get out of bed and I'm like, yeah, time to conquer the day. I wish. No, I get up out of bed like this. And then I walk to the bathroom and I pee, and then I get into the second aspect of my morning discipline, which is I get in front of my big picture vision, I get in front of my goals, and I do a very focused 3 to 5 minutes of visualization while feeling into the things that I'm creating in my life. There are 3 gateways to the subconscious mind, meaning 3 opportunities in which you can speak and reprogram your subconscious mind. And it is your subconscious mind which is ultimately going to create your life. Number one is early in the morning. And that's why it's so important to protect your mind. I'll get into that in a little bit. Number two is as you're falling asleep right before bed. And number three is when you're sexually aroused. In my Become a Sexual Alchemist training, we tap into all three gateways to quickly reprogram your subconscious mind. That's how we can get rid of negative habits and, more importantly, install the positive habits that get you to where you want to go. So visualization with prayer to consciously program your subconscious mind. I do it 3 to 5 minutes every single morning. Then I get to the gym. Do something difficult physically in the morning. This serves a couple reasons. One, it wakes your entire system up. By the time I get to the gym and I start lifting my first reps, now my body is awake. And I like to lift heavy or push myself hard in the morning physically because it wakes me up. It gets my blood pumping. It gets physical exercise going. I don't listen to music and I don't listen to podcasts, and I'm focused in on what I'm doing. It's so important that you learn to focus in without external stimulants. Getting a really good workout in. So whether it's for you, it's the gym, or it's a yoga routine, or it is, running. What the monks did is the monks would generally be up between 4 and 4:30 in the ashram. They would do their morning prayers, and then in certain ashrams, they would then do yoga practices or some kind of physical exercise, 30 minutes to an hour, to wake themselves up. Ashrams are different sects, but the principle is there. Wake up early, wake up at the same time every day, prayer, visualization, affirmation, work the body, and then I do 20 to 30 minutes of sexual alchemy techniques and practices to drive my sexual energy upwards in my body, to cultivate that energy so I'm vibrant, I've got tons of energy, and I'm revved up. I actually learned about a tribe in Africa. They used to, because they used to have to run long distances and keep up with herds while they were hunting, this tribe was actually known to stop and self-cultivate, essentially pleasure themselves for a little bit, to drive that energy up and then continue to run. So you can do practices of alchemy in which you're gonna rev up your energy, circulate it through your body, and then pour it into your day. By time you have done this routine, it's a couple hours investment in the morning. That's why you're up early and you're really laser focused on it. But here's what's happened. By the time I finish this routine, I am so in the zone, in the flow, that I can ride that energy out for the rest of the day, right into the evening. Focused and high energy. That automatically is gonna triple your output. Now, here comes part number two. So that's the discipline of cultivating that routine, or a routine similar to that works for you. Then, number two aspect or pillar of this monk mode routine is energy management. And this allows you to stay in the flow all throughout the day so that you're productive. One is no scrolling on social media, and absolutely no social media before 10 a.m. For some people, it's before 12. It depends on your situation and circumstance, but you want to regulate social media and you don't want to get caught up scrolling. Why? Because when you're scrolling, you're setting your own hormones, specifically your reward and response, your dopamine response, to be getting your dopamine from this external stimulant as opposed to getting it from your own accomplishments. The whole mastery or secret here is to get off of the external and fake stimulants back onto God-given stimulants. Your own accomplishments, your own dreams that God has placed in your heart. Number two for energy management is semen retention. Stop busting your nut, stop wasting your energy, stop depleting yourself, and ultimately clean fuel, meaning clean, whole foods into your body, lots of water. If you're not getting at least 3 to 4 liters of water in a day, you gotta up your water intake. Notice the difference it makes. Okay, so that's discipline in the morning. Energy management to make that energy last. Like a battery, you want it efficient. Like gas, you want your car working efficiently. So you want to fill up your car. That's the morning routine, filling yourself up with energy and focus. Then efficiency, distractions, eliminating distractions like social media, things like self-pleasure, adult content, and bad foods that are gonna make your energy go up and down. So high sugary foods where you have a high, then you have a low. You want to eliminate that so your energy is just working nice and smoothly and you're in that flow state. And that's where you're gonna triple your output, You're going to triple your productivity. You're going to also notice that you magnetize the right people towards you because you're in the vibration of a high focused, high energy man. So for men who want to leave an impact, that's where you need to be. And number 3 is focused work blocks. So working in 30, 60, or 90 increments specific to one task. No multitasking. Time block. Next 30 minutes, I'm gonna answer emails. Get those emails done. Take a quick intentional break. Go for a walk, garden, to do some jumping jacks, some breath work. Then pick another task, 30 minutes, get it done. Okay, I'm sending out, prospecting messages now for the next 30 minutes or the next hour. Block off everything else, get it done. All right, the next 30 minutes, I'm gonna be creating content. If you batch work, you're gonna notice at the end of the day, you get way more done than if you try to respond to everybody and try to multitask. The more you have to switch tasks and the more little decisions you have to make, the less productive you're gonna be. The beauty about the practices of alchemy and developing this routine is that you are going to become laser focused on your high impact activities and you're gonna eliminate or delegate the rest. Then in the evening, which falls under the block of discipline, but your morning routine really begins in the evening, is you want to stop eating or consuming any kind of food after 7 p.m. I'm not perfect with this. Sometimes, especially like if I go, like tonight, I'm going to go running. Most likely I'm going to eat something when I come home, but it's going to be something light. So if you are going to eat late, make sure it's really light. Maybe some fruit, some yogurt, something that's not going to take long for your stomach to digest. You want to avoid eating heavy foods at night or eating right before bed because all that food is in your stomach and now you can't get a proper rest. It's hard to fall asleep. This also can stimulate you and create wet dreams, overheat the body when practicing semen retention. Last meal, ideally by 7 p.m., in bed between 9 and 9:30. Leaders who sleep well lead well because they think well. As I'm falling asleep, reflecting on the day's wins, anchoring and saying gratitude, thanking God for another a day of abundance, a day to serve, a day to be blessed, visualizing the next day and how it's going to play out, programming my own muscle memory and subconscious mind of how tomorrow's going to play out, and then fall asleep visualizing my big picture goals. Get your sleep right, get your sexual energy right, get your food right, and you are going to triple, quadruple, 10 times your productivity. You're going to have an intensity, a magnetism. You're going to have clarity of mind, which is going to give you the ability to pour your energy and creative power and force into the projects that are important to you. And you're going to be able to set strong boundaries to stay focused. If you need help implementing this, let me know. Reach out to me, connect with me. You can book some time on my schedule. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Never miss a video. Take it seriously. When you take this seriously, you're going to operate on a level that's far superior than most men are operating, especially in the age of distraction. Most men right now, they never going to experience what it feels like to operate at full capacity because they're all the time, right? They're constantly depleting themselves, and then they're watching Netflix and they're scrolling on social media and they're so dopamine riddled that they can't stay focused for more than 10 minutes. So a man who can work for 60, 90 minutes, focus effort multiple times throughout the day, there's no competition for you. In whatever you endeavor to do, I promise you, it's a clear path in this age for the men who can stay disciplined, and it makes you a powerful man. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video.